Guys, good morning. Jack Dallas here. It is June 14th. I had to double check there for a second. I could have sworn it was the 14th, but sometimes it's easy to get our days mixed up with so many events going on. I got a few topics I want to make videos on this week, but one I wanted to touch on very quickly is the New York MMJ program and its lack of success. This is going to be a quick one, and I'm hopefully going to give you some advice on what to do with this. Now, basically what's going on is the Drug Policy Alliance put out a report, which you can check out on this article from the Daily Chronic out today, basically saying that New York State's medical marijuana program is unworkable, both in terms of patient access to the medicine as well as the economic setup of the overall MMJ system, as well as how it works in conjunction with the legislature. Essentially, what happened is New York State legalized medical marijuana, but set it up in such a way that it would essentially fail on its own. It's extremely difficult to become a patient. The dispensaries that were allowed to open are few and far between. So if you read through the article, you'll see basically patient access is a big issue. Access to doctors is a huge issue. And basically, the program was set up to fail on purpose. So, they legalize medical marijuana so the politicians can kind of look good, but there's not enough doctors to get the patients what they need, and there's not enough economic activity surrounding the program to make it profitable. So essentially, on the one hand, patients can't get the medicine that they want, and in reaction to that, the reciprocal nature of, needing their money to keep the businesses going is not coming in. And when you have it set up in such a way that it's almost impossible to become a patient, or in that case, the client of a dispensary, obviously those dispensaries are going to go out of business and the program is not going to expand. Now, I believe New York set it up this way on purpose because they didn't really want a medical marijuana program. But of course, they couldn't justify not having one because it's absolutely ridiculous and there is no justification for not having one other than all of the dollars that the politicians are receiving from people like the prison industrial complex, law enforcement, other groups like that who benefit from drug prohibition. So if you go down here, there's 3 New York bills being introduced, which are going to help increase. Oh, excuse me, guys, allergies crazy today. Anyway, these bills are going to increase access to, the medicine in terms of patients, which is what people want. But at the same time, it's going to allow these dispensaries to make a little bit more money so they can actually stay open. It's not useful to anybody if these businesses are allowed to function but cannot make enough money to even pay their basic bills every month. So even though I don't ordinarily recommend, voting or anything like that as a way to get things done, if we can contact, Gottfried and Savino, you can go to their websites from the New York State Assembly here. Senator Savino, it's very easy to find this stuff, guys. And if you just go and Google these Senate bill names and numbers, you can find more information about them. But this has more to do with getting more actual patients / customers for dispensaries. And these are people that want to be on this medication. They certainly have other options. They're certainly not being forced into it, so I consider it very voluntary. And really, my ultimate goal would be to just get rid of all these laws altogether, because I don't think you should have to be jumping through this many hoops to gain access to marijuana, but at least we're authorizing nurse practitioners and physician assistants to certify patients, so we don't have to jump through as many hoops to see the right people. Severe chronic pain, first of all, if you suffer from it, you should be allowed to get relief other than from an opiate-derived prescription, which does nothing more but put more billions of dollars into the hands of, essentially big pharma, who donates a ton of money to politicians that keep marijuana illegal. And this is going to allow, obviously, because a lot of people suffer from chronic pain, a lot more patients to be benefiting, and at the same time, dispensaries gaining more money from more patients and a higher patient count. And adding more producers and dispensaries, because the biggest problem is simply access to medicine. If you look at where the dispensaries are, essentially the vast majority of the state isn't covered. And how is the program supposed to exist if the vast majority of New Yorkers can't even get to a dispensary in a reasonable amount of time? So, guys, I would recommend, if you're a New York State registered voter, contacting these people. Even if you're not, contact them and voice your support. Contact your local politicians and voice support. And essentially, in a way, you can sort of, use your power to get things like this in. We don't actually have to turn around and vote for these people all the time, but we need to put pressure on them to be introducing this legislature and essentially getting our rights back to us. We should not have to be restricted to gain access to medical marijuana when you can walk down the street and buy as many bottles of liquor as you want, buy as many packs of cigarettes as you would like, and kill yourself all day long with these horrible substances. People should be allowed the personal freedom to do what they want with their body without the risk of being persecuted. This is Jack Dallas, guys. Take care.